Welcome back, everyone. Going into the second half here of Drop Frame. Zeke, muteth thy headphones, good sir. For we have
Muting?
Sekiro.
In 3,
I'll give you a
2,
thumbs up when we're good.
1. Muted.
All right, he's muted. He's out. He's out of the fucking show.
All right.
All right, let's talk Sekiro. I don't know if we spoil anything. Sorry. Have you finished the game, Bike?
No, I need to. I'm pretty close, I think.
Oh, okay, great. Then I won't be able to talk about the last boss, so I can't actually spoil anything. What? Where are you at right now in the game?
I think the last major thing I did was jump on the snake.
What was the last boss you fought?
Oh, good lord. What was the last boss that I fought? I don't even remember. So many bosses in that game and mini bosses.
I want to do one of those things like,
remember.
did you do this? But I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm not going to just like take
Yeah.
steps.
God, I think the last difficult thing I fought was that I hate the the two cannon mini bosses. There's one down in the depths and one like on the way to the gun fortress.
Oh yeah.
That bullshit grab. Oh my
The
god.
female gunfighter warriors. Yeah, those guys are motherfuckers.
Hey, gun lady.
They are pains in the asses. Yeah. The Snake Eyes people. Yeah. Wait. So did you fight the boss beyond the Snake Eye lady down below?
I don't know.
I really
I don't remember the boss. It's been a while, man.
Okay. Do you like what'd you quit off then for? What most people like steam barrel through all the rest of the game. What kept you from jumping back into it?
PAX happened.
Yeah.
Outward happened. Just
Makes
the
sense.
game like I don't know. It was kind of like maybe I'll finish it by myself. Honestly,
Really?
it's more fun like playing without chat. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I definitely. There were moments towards the end of that game, especially with like the final two bosses I fought. And I'll say this so chat knows: the optional boss at the end of the game, and then the final boss are the two bosses I'm specifically referring to. I turned off my camera. I closed chat. I turned off my mic. I turned off my lights, and I just sat there and played because, like, at that point, it comes down to personal skill and game knowledge in terms of actually playing, rather than just like having like. It's very hard for me to have a conversation in that game when I'm fighting those bosses because most of the time it's like, hey, why aren't you doing X, Y, Z? And it's also like, well, I'm reading chat, so I can't focus on chat and also fight this boss at the same time. So I just turned it all off, and final boss took me, I think, 6 hours of fighting before I finally got him down.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely for me the hardest. I might have spent. I don't actually remember the amount of time I spent on Orphan in Bloodborne, but it felt harder than any other thing that I fought in like a From Software game. Definitely the hardest encounter. And it's definitely one of those bosses where they take the entirety of the game. If there's certain fights within Sekiro that are trying to teach you a certain thing so that you can like master that certain thing, the final fight is, hey, here's everything. Have fun. Here's everything. Have fun.
I had it spoiled for me. I'm pretty sure the last boss is like the father, right?
Do you want me to answer that or no?
No, I'm pretty sure because it got spoiled for me. So yeah, I know that he has all the moves that you have. So what you just said, just like confirm that. Yeah, he was the last. I know you fight him at some point.
He is not. Yes, you fight him at some point.
Okay, yeah. All right, then. He's not the last. All right.
Yeah. The last,
I know how From Soft games go. Like the last boss is never really the last boss.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how like the final boss is truly a culmination of everything in that game. Like in its purest form boiled down to a single fight. And it's the type of thing where you have at max you have 10 like Estus flasks, 10 heals, but a single hit is 60 to 75% of your life, right? So you can effectively get hit maybe 4 or 5 times, and that's
really?
It. Yeah,
okay.
Because you basically have to perfect the first stage, the first part. You have to not get hit and effectively just take him
God.
out. And then the other stages like build on that. And
Right.
each thing that happens after that is significantly harder than the stage before it, the thing
Good
before it.
Lord, that sounds punishing.
And so like
I thought Lady Butterfly was bad.
Oh yeah, it is on another level, and he's in your face nonstop. He is one of the most
Oh,
aggressive
God.
fights in the game, so you have no room to breathe. And it is unbelievably mechanically sound in terms of what you actually have to do. And yeah, it took me 7 hours. And I'm pretty sure in part of the VOD, before I turned off my camera fully, I like did one of those things where I was like getting ready to throw the controller, and then I remembered that my camera was on and that was a $150 controller in my hand. So I stopped about halfway and just kind of like sat and just kind of chilled for a second. And then went back into it. But yeah, it was it's good. It was definitely rough. But with beating that boss and beating the game and doing everything in that game and watching everything else that I didn't do, because you can't do everything in one playthrough basically. It is, I think, my favorite From Software game to date. Better than any of the Dark Souls, better than Bloodborne. It is without a doubt my favorite one for sure. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I love absolutely like I mean, a lot of people are like the combat's like different and I have to get adjust to that and everything. So yeah, there's that. But when it comes to FromSoft games, I love just exploring and finding all the different paths. It's like my favorite thing is their level design.
Oh,
love it.
And this one's done so well because they reward that with like meaningful things in the game, and the way that the world is, like the aesthetic of the world is something that I'm super fucking interested in, and I love this like weird. They did like a really good job balancing the idea of real world stuff with like the mythological aspect of Japan that I was super fucking into. And so anytime I was like going down an area and it linked with something else, it had that like aha moment that happens in a From Software game. You're like, holy shit, you can get here from like practically the beginning of the game if you know where you're going. Right. And it links to like kind of the end of the game somewhat. So there was a lot of crazy stuff like that. It was it's a hell of a game.
I love that. When you open up a path and you're like, oh, here I am.
Yeah.
There's obvious place.
It was a hell of a thing. That's pretty much I talked at length about it last week, so I don't really have too much to add to it. But it is right now it's definitely like sitting at the top of a game of the year list. It was it's a hell of a game.
I definitely found it really rewarding getting good at parrying. Like especially beating Lady Butterfly took me like 4 hours of practice off stream until I got really close, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to stream this now. Yeah. And just getting the clangs, and this really satisfying after a while where you're just like, I can stand toe to toe with something and get hit a few times, but like pick up the patterns like really quickly. Yeah. Like really felt good. Yeah.
There's only a handful, and I think every boss has like a block rhythm to them that you can learn pretty quickly. But there was one like I guess it was, I'll just say boss. There's one boss in particular, and I mentioned it last week, but it is nonstop blocking, and then you hit, and then nonstop blocking to a rhythm, and then you hit, and it really felt like I was playing a fucking rhythm game, like a DDR or something like that. Yep. Which is really really fun. So I had a blast with it. It's super good. Yep. Definitely finish it off stream or on stream.
I plan
it doesn't
to.
matter.
I plan to. Yeah.
And the cool part, we'll bring Z back in here, but my favorite part about this is yesterday, it might have been during Court of Swords or it might have been after Court of Swords. Zeke was talking about, he wasn't sure if he was going to like the game as much as everyone else because he usually plays these games with magic. And I think Zeke is going to hate this game because it does not allow you to play any other way than what the game intends you to play. And he might not like it because of that. Because it forces you to play that certain way.
Never been appealing to me in a Dark Souls game to have magic.
Yeah, and that's all Zeke plays it for. So I don't. I don't know. I really don't know if it'll.
Don't you think some of the special abilities are kind of magic-y, but they may be like physical, but the way the functionality works could be like, oh, that was kind of like a spell.
Yeah, a little bit, but you still got to learn to parry, right? Like you still have to.
That's true. You still kind of have to.
You have to parry.
Right. You're right. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
So and he knows and thankfully he's not reading chat right now, and he has not watched any streams about it. But he knows literally nothing about the game. So much so that I asked him like yesterday. He's like, "Yeah, I hope I can, play different builds and stuff like that." And I said, "Do you want me to answer that for you?" And he said, "No." So he's going in completely blind. So it should be a pretty good playthrough tomorrow.
Yep.
But yeah, Sekiro's hell of a game. Definitely recommend it. Play it if you can. Even if it looks like one of those games that is unbelievably difficult, it is unbelievably difficult, but it eases you into that stuff. So give it a try.
It definitely gives you a perspective on doing something over and over and over again, and then suddenly you're good at it.
Yeah.
After but if you have the patience to be frustrated for a long period of time and do the same thing repetitively, it's like learning the guitar, basically. Like suddenly you're just like doing things naturally.
Yep. Yeah, and if you've never played a Dark Souls game, you're actually in a better position than people that have jumping into this game in terms of learning it. Because for Souls veterans, you have to unlearn a lot of stuff to play this game. Unless you were the type of person that ran around with, like a dexterity weapon and constantly parried everything, then you'll be pretty okay at this game. But yeah,
right.
It's definitely a difficult game. So, anyways, I'll bring Zeke back in and I'll talk some Skyrim VR. We gotta do thumbs up till he catches it. I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. We'll move on to some. You're playing tomorrow, right, Zeke? It's 100% confirmed. We were talking about.
Yeah,
if you
let
were
me
going...
just check my Twitter poll and see if it would take a drastic swing for it to change what people polled. But let me just check. Nope. With 1,797 votes in and 2 hours left, 71% want me to play Sekiro over Devil May Cry 1 through 5.
All right. There you go. We were discussing on whether... Yes. I won't answer the question. I'm just going to pose it, and you can maybe watch it after the fact. We were discussing if you would like the game or not. And it was a fun
I'm sure I'll
discussion.
love it.
We'll see.
I don't think there's no question in my mind that I'll love it.
Okay.
And if people are worried about, because this question came up a lot. I actually was going through and highlighting questions from the Q&A section.
Yeah.
A lot of questions came up about the difficulty of Sekiro.
Yeah.
And I love difficult games. Absolutely love them. For all the shit and all the grief and all that shit, bullshit I get about Bashi, I still love that game. It was such, like, I've never, like, it would be hard. I would be hard pressed to find another time where I felt so satisfied after completing one screen of a game.
Okay. Zeke, it's the only game in recent memory, really in the past, since Overwatch, it's the only game where I've ever physically gotten upset and almost thrown the fucking Elite controller across the room. That's how
I can see that.
That's how raged I got. So,
hey, the Soulsborne games, and I am not proud of this. The Soulsborne game claimed 2 Elite controllers, and I went, I'm never buying another one. I'm stupid for even buying the first one.
Yes, I would buy some extra controllers, Zeke. With knowing your threshold for video game rage and knowing how upset I got during the game at certain points, buy some more controllers.
Now, did the game make you feel like you were stupid, or did the game sometimes feel like cheesy bullshit, or when you died, you knew exactly why, and you kept making the same mistake? Because that's the thing that starts to really grate on me. It's like the straws on the camel's back. I make the same fucking mistake and don't learn, and I get mad at myself because I feel so stupid for doing the same goddamn thing every time.
A little bit of all the above, but it's definitely you never die because of bullshit. You know exactly why you died, and it's because you played poorly.
To bullshit.
Well, there is a
Two
little
times
bit.
I can pinpoint it. Yeah.
There is a little bit of
it's rare. It was incredibly rare.
There's a little bit of your standards from software bullshit that occurs.
And it mostly had to do with magnetism. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like boss locking on and mobs locking on. Yeah.
But the thing that I stopped getting mad about for third-person action games, JP and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, is camera. You can't, there's no way that you're not going to have a camera boss from time to time with a third-person action game.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this during me and Bike talking about, but Zeke, this is the only game to ever make me motion sick that wasn't VR because of the camera. Because when you're indoor in fights, the way that the camera is positioned and the way that you can jump in this game, Zeke. The way that you jump, and if you're indoors and the camera's up in a corner,
I would hope so. You're a samurai, right?
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, when you're indoors and you're up against a wall and you jump, the character jumps and like jumps towards the camera. And I think it was that aspect because anytime that I was indoors, I immediately got motion sick. The second I went outside, I was fine. So,
how adjustable is the camera as far as like draw distance and that kind of shit?
Draw distance is not adjustable whatsoever. Camera rotation speed is adjustable.
Oh god.
I think you can adjust the FOV on the PC version, but it's not. You have to go in the INI file. It's not like an actual option. You have to go into the actuals INIs of it. So
okay.
Did you have that?
Gotta be a fucking reason for that. What is the fucking reason for that?
I don't know. But
see, I understand it with older games like Resident Evil where it has like that fixed camera. It's supposed to look cinematic or whatever. I get there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It might be a reason I don't agree with, but at least there's a solid reason. I don't know why there would be a solid reason to not have a fucking adjustable camera in a third-person action game.
I don't think there's one. It's one of those games where there's always a ton of stuff for the most part, like around you, and there's a lot of on-screen notifiers that like, hey, something's coming from this way, and so maybe if you like up the FOV, you can see that stuff better, and that kind of makes the game easier. I don't know. I'm grasping for straws here on why that stuff doesn't exist. I really am. It's kind of weird.
I mean, it in this day and age, it seems silly not to have that option, to have it like, I want it this close to me, or I want it this far from me.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah, I agree. It's the only game I've ever gotten motion sick from. So.
Yeah. Did you have the Steam controller issue thing, where like it was put in wrong because they were selling a bundle with the Steam controller with Sekiro for some reason, and so like the camera was way too sensitive when I first started the game on PC. You have to actually go into the Steam controller and change it to joystick instead of mouse joystick.
No, I did not have that issue.
I guess they patched it.
I did have the issue, funny enough, on the PC version. I was playing with an Elite, and for whatever reason, the game would just do a hard freeze for like a frame, and then it would unlock. And then
that would happen randomly sometimes.
Yeah. So someone last week during Drop Frame said, "Hey, turn off controller vibration." I'm like, what the fuck? Why is that going to change anything? So I did it during the final boss, and I had like one freeze after that. Whereas before I was having like multiple, like 4 freezes in a row every like couple of minutes. Yeah. So Zeke, turn off controller vibration when you play if you're playing the PC version. It caused freezes for me. If you're having freezes, that's like a huge thing, and it happened at the most fucking annoying times when like a crucial moment is happening in a boss fight. It's like, oh, you got hit, you idiot! Why didn't you fucking parry that? Because you were frozen, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a bug they can fix?
Hopefully. Yeah. I don't know if that stuff has been patched.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of the more rage-inducing things for sure.
Oh shit!
Is that mom?
Nope.
Okay.
Registration for Burning Man tickets just opened up.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's just registration though. It's not actual ticket sales.
I see. We'll do some questions here in a sec. I do want to talk.
Now say it with me.
What's that?
Sekiro.
It's Sekiro.
Do. Say it like do.
Sekiro.
No,
Sekiro.
It's Sekiro. I don't care.
Shakira.
Yeah, it's Akira. Yeah, exactly. I'll spend 5 seconds. Well, not. I'll spend 5 minutes talking about Skyrim VR. This is me playing Skyrim VR. For some reason, I decided to jump on this huge VR kick. I have no idea why. And I felt that Skyrim VR was what I was going to play. Also, Zeke, I played Beat Saber. It's a good game. It's pretty good. I'm a big fan of that. It's pretty good. Wireless VR is also the best part of it. But yeah, this is Skyrim
batteries
VR.
Last? Sorry.
What was that?
How long do batteries last? Just curious.
So I have. This is the actual. Oh no, this is one of the extra ones I bought. This is a. I don't remember any of the fucking. I was gonna like drop knowledge on batteries. This is the battery right here, Bike.
The battery.
Yeah, it lasts like 3 hours,
All right,
and
cool.
then the headset dies. I have
Okay.
3 of them, so I was. I couldn't play for more than like 6 hours, only because, not because I was sick or because I was tired of the game. For stream, this is a totally streamer issue. Has nothing to do with playing the game.
Right.
The headset mic on the Vive is not the best. It's right
No,
here.
neither the Oculus either.
Yeah, it's right here beneath the headset, and it is real bad. So I decided to use this headset. And if you've never used one of these headsets before, it wraps around your head, and if you have a giant head like I do, it pinches it. So this part right here has been wrapped in gauze, which also has a rubber insert that I ordered off of Amazon to basically stop giving me a fucking migraine when I play this game. That was the only way I could like get it to not just be a painful mess. But that was what kept me from playing for more extended amounts of time. The other thing about streaming VR is it's fucking just a goddamn hassle. Everything about it is a hassle.
It really is.
It's the hassle of VR multiplied and amplified by streaming. From being able to see chat, from making sure that chat has something that is actually not like painstakingly awful to view, both in FPS and like motion sickness wise. The process in order to do all this, I'll go through real quick so everyone can understand the amount of shit that you have to do just to open this game. So after modding Skyrim, which took about 6 or 7 hours to get all the VR mods installed, you open up the Vive Wireless program, which then sees the headset, which then you can open up Steam VR, this is all with the Vive Pro. So then you get Steam VR, you turn on your 2 controllers, then you open up a program which allows you to see Twitch chat on your left control. You can bind it to whatever. I put it on my left controller so then I can see chat. Once that's loaded, you go into Steam and you use a program called Natural Locomotion. So to move, you do this. That eliminates any of the motion sickness in Skyrim VR because it's either teleporting, which is an awful way to play this. You can just fucking like run through things at light speed, teleporting away. Or you use the little haptic thing on the controller to just like move forward. But that's a really uneasy thing to do when you're stationary and you're running in this game. It's dropped me to my knees multiple times from like, oh God, this does not feel right. What is fucking happening? Why am I moving forward, but I'm not actually moving? So the Natural Locomotion Steam app, you can adjust it, but it has like a preset for Skyrim, and it's you do this and you move forward, and you put it behind you and you like do this and it moves forward. It actually feels really good. So open up Natural Locomotion. Then you open up the mod launcher, Vortex, which mods Skyrim. You click play on that. That loads Skyrim. When it boots Skyrim up on your computer, on your desktop monitor, it initially loads it in like this weird 4x3 thing. So you have to go in and mod that file, mod the INI so that loads full screen. But then you have to Alt-Tab from that because the only reason that you want that in full screen is because it runs at higher FPS on Windows 10 for whatever fucking reason. Full screen programs just run at higher FPS.
Right.
So then you Alt-Tab from that. You go over into Steam VR. You enable the headset mirror so that goes full screen, and you Alt-Tab or Alt-Enter that so then it goes full screen. Then you can finally put your headset on and play. So that's about a 15-minute process to make sure all that shit's working just so I can get in fucking game. It's a goddamn nightmare. Well, and then if one of those messes up, you have to restart it. You have to restart the whole fucking thing because it has to be loaded in that order or it all fucks up.
Yeah.
Chad, help me out with this. I played a game. I think it's PS. I'm pretty sure I played it on PSVR, but it's a high fantasy wizard and warrior RPG game.
Fuck, I remember.
It was the one. If you can help me out, it was the one where you take like it was like the Dungeons and Dragons handle of the bow, and then you put the other controller up here, and the bow like appears as you pull back.
Witching
Tower.
Tower.
What was the game? Witching Tower.
Yeah.
That game because I played this. I played the demo of this. Like before it was like out, I played the demo of Skyrim and Fallout.
Yeah, in VR.
Yep. And Witching Tower does everything in those games, because it was designed for VR, it does it so much better.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't doubt that for sure. I mean, this game, like Skyrim VR, has the thing where you can like use a bow and you have to put the controllers like this and like draw your bow back and aim.
Yeah.
It does that. It's just not as good, I'm sure. And there's mods. Go ahead.
The only reason why I bring it up is because if you are interested in playing Skyrim VR and you love the world and stuff, I understand. But if you are just into like the high fantasy kind of a setting and you want a VR experience, and I would say like a more quality experience, just want to put more like suggestions out there because it's kind of under the radar, but it's really fucking good.
Yeah. All the issues aside of getting into the game and all the bullshit that you have to load to like play, it's a lot of fun. It's one of those things where you put on the headset and for the next like 3 hours till that battery dies, you're in that world. Like you don't. I forget that I'm in a room, and if I wasn't turning my controller every 5 seconds to make sure that nothing was broken, I would forget that I was like streaming it. It's absolutely insane, like the amount of, and I hate using this word, but the amount of immersion that like being in these different dungeons in VR is crazy. I think this might be the first dungeon where I started seeing trolls in Skyrim, and it's like you'll walk into a room and you'll kind of like peek your head around and okay, there's a guy right there, and then you'll bring up your controllers and like you can amplify your spells in Skyrim by using like dual wielding magic, and you have to actually aim them like it's an FPS with a controller. So you sit there and like try to get the right angle and you aim it, and then you turn around and fucking run back so your follower can run forward and start like tanking that shit. It was so much fun doing that type of stuff. And I'm doing it. Yeah, there's a little bit of right here actually.
That's great. A little shuffle back there.
Yeah. Saw one dragon thus far. I'm still pretty early on in the story, and that was it's a little crazy. Like I saw a giant as well, and they are obviously much larger than you, and it's a little bit scary and a little bit imposing when it happens. But this is all stuff that like if you've seen us talk about any VR stuff before, the scale is super important and works really well in VR.
Right.
If you don't like spiders or certain bugs or anything like that, Skyrim, if you remember 10 years ago when that game came out, has giant versions of that. And it is terrifying when you're walking through and you start to see like, oh, fuck, is that like a spider? Oh, God, the spider webs are getting more dense. And, oh, God, that's a spider right there. He's just not attacked. Okay. All right, let's walk forward a little bit and we'll get that spider to drop down and see what we can do. So that part sucks. There's mods to remove all that. There's mods to do anything in Skyrim. Speaking of mods, the last thing I'll say on this, because I don't really have much else to add except I had a great time with it.
Making me want to try it, man.
It's really good. That lady right there is a mod, and her name is Sophia, and the mod regards her as one of the best followers in Skyrim.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. It's got like 1.2 million downloads. Yeah, that's a lot of downloads for it. Let's go ahead and let me grab that. Unwise JP decided to do last week. So it's all that. You find her in a stable, in her underwear. And then you learn very quickly that whoever decided to write her voice lines was probably 14 years old. Because everything out of her mouth has a slight sexual innuendo tied to it. With such great lines as, I've heard the rumors, but can you tell me how do you really make a Dovahkiin come?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like the baseline. That's like the baseline of it. It only gets worse from there. There's a lot of things like you'll walk up to her to like give her items to store in her inventory because she has a much higher inventory storage than you do. And she'll just say like, hey, make sure to not take advantage of me. At least not in that way.
Oh, okay.
And you're just like, please please stop. Like, please just
Yeah.
stop all. This is making me feel really bad. This is making me feel really bad. And so I've installed a different mod follower, but I have to get to a certain town to actually find him. So now it's just become a thing of like, she talks a lot. And anytime she talks like that, I just Fus Rodar and she shuts up. so I just turn around and go, blah, Fus Rodar. I turn around and she stops talking. So it's pretty good. It's fun stuff. I also use like an alternative start mod for this. So I didn't start in the wagon to get my head chopped off. I started in like this magical realm, which is really cool. There's people walking around and you get to choose all that stuff. So it's been a fun experience of like, one, playing Skyrim in VR, but two, also modding Skyrim for the first time. And being able to, I don't know if it's in this VOD actually. Maybe it is. Is this where? Yeah. So at the end of this, if you've played Skyrim before, you know that you have to walk up 7,000 steps to get to the top of the tower to see the what the Greybeards or whatever. That was really fun in VR because if you're playing with natural locomotion, you're walking by doing this.
Right.
And I'm doing a self-imposed rule that chat put on me that I can't teleport.
Okay.
So it's a lot of this. And especially when you're walking up 7,000 steps, it's a lot of this. It's just nonstop. It's doing this. And then you turn around. Oh, okay.
Doggy paddling.
Yeah. Just nonstop. So I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Cool.
And it looks really fun. Like this is the Aurora mod or something like that. Or no, it's called Ethereal Cosmos actually.
Okay.
That
Makes
type of
it
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, it looks like the Aurora Borealis. And it's fucking
Nice.
awesome in VR. There's multiple points where I'll just like get to the top of a mountain and shit, look at that. If I wasn't streaming, I would just spend a lot of time just doing that. But it's not the most enjoyable thing to watch. So
Yeah.
it's fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a good time. It makes me want more like fully fledged VR games because there's not very many of them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the type of thing where this whole like Valve Index thing that they're talking about, this new headset that they have coming out later this year, in whatever game that they're coming out, because they're apparently working on 3 VR games. If one of those games is a fully fledged game from Valve, that could be really good.
Yeah.
Because there's not very many like fully fledged games. There's stuff like Beat Saber where the game is there, but the replayability is just more songs. It's not like you're walking through an entire world and that type of stuff. So
Yep. A fully realized game.
yeah. Which I guess we can kind of talk about this for a split second, and then we'll do some of these questions. No Man's Sky VR on PlayStation is a thing.
Actually, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I wish it was coming for PC sooner.
that might be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That might be a thing that actually gets me to stay in that world for longer than an hour. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good thing.
Especially with the big multiplayer update coming out for that too.
Yeah. Is it exclusive to PlayStation or is it on all platforms?
I don't know.
Chat's
It is on
saying it's
PC.
both.
Okay, cool, sweet. All right,
But I
well,
thought
if it's
it
on
was-
both, then I'm probably going to try it on PC, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. It's Vive and Rift too. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I hope 2 things. 1, I hope it runs well, and 2, I hope that they do a full screen mirror on the desktop so it's not a fucking pain in the ass to stream like every other. Like if they just do exactly what Beat Saber does in terms of having their full screen thing, that'll be a fucking amazing thing. But does that game use Unity? Is that a Unity game?
Oh God.
Chad, is that game Unity? I'm waiting to see if there's a reply. We'll just sit here and wait.
No.
Custom engine. Fuck. Because Unity has a lot of those things built into it. It's why Beat Saber is able to do what it does. Anyways.
Wait, before we do questions, can I talk about like the best game at PAX? At PAX East?
Yeah, fuck. We didn't even talk about you going to PAX. Yeah, of course. How was
I
PAX?
saw a few interesting things at PAX, but there was a game I was already excited about coming out that I didn't even know was going to be at PAX, and now I'm like even extra excited about it. And that's Barrow Trauma. Barrow Trauma is like a game that I saw on their website. Someone mentioned it offhand in a comment section in like the R Games or whatever on Reddit. And it's 16 players on a submarine from like a side perspective. and you just like work the submarine together, and it's like heavily inspired by like Space Station 13 and games where like all the functionality on the submarine is like really deep and can be worked, and like levers and depths and all this other stuff like that. Really excited about it. Just really excited about it. They've had a version to play on their website for a year. It was really basic, but apparently they've been working really hard on like a Steam version because they're about to come out on Steam. And it was so good that Daedalic like picked them up as a publisher. They're just like snatched them right up.
Huh.
Super excited about it, and it looks like it has potential to just be so fun with other players and hilarious. So, like the physics on the characters look like you're playing co-op.
Yeah.
Like the way that they can bounce into each other. You can like lose like all bones and just like collapse to the ground and stuff like that and knock each other over. It's really in depth where like you can repair things. You can go into like the different like computer systems and work all that stuff. You can have someone who's like an engineer, someone who's the captain, et cetera, et cetera. And there's like an order, like when you like play like an MMO and all the characters in your party are in the upper left hand corner with their life bars. There's actually orders bars, so the captain can be like, you start the engine, push the button on their bar, and that'll show up as like an objective on the right side of their screen or whatever. They're really cool, in-depth stuff like that. It also looks like there's a lot of potential for betrayal.
Yeah.
There's actually a trader mode that's built into the game. There's modding tools built into the game. I talked to the head dev, and he just pulled out a random monster and was just like, I don't like the way this monster like swims, and so he like had like a sine wave that he could stretch and like make, with his mouse, he could stretch it out and move it around, and it changed the whole animation of like the creature and like the way it moved.
Damn.
So it's gonna have all this, like you can mess with everything.
Was this in like the mega indie section or whatever? Or is it?
It was right across from it because Daedalic picked them up.
Oh, Daedalic. Okay.
So yeah, they weren't technically indie anymore.
Yeah. Crazy.
I can't wait for the supposed to come out on Steam anytime now, any week now. Really waiting for it.
Oh, so it's one of those like soon.
Anytime, yeah.
Okay.
They were ready to release, and then Daedalic picked them up, so they had to go through that process of like getting the publisher, and
Sure.
now they're just waiting for the build to go to Steam, and we're gonna play the hell out of it. And up to 16 players. I mean, I saw Strippin play it a while back in the old version, and I was like, I really need to keep an eye on this game. It's fun.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. This looks pretty fucking fun.
Definitely most excited about it.
It says spring 2019. And you might not be able to answer this. 16 players, are they dedicated servers that they host, or is it you host the servers? Like how is server hosting figured out or
I'm
done?
not sure.
Okay.
I think that in the demo it was just like one person was basically the host.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
it's not
sense.
too intensive graphically, so
Cool. Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Does it have a price on there? No price. Just says early access. Can't pre-order or anything. Cool. Yeah, that's definitely on my radar now. I had no idea that was the thing. Did you see any other games at PAX East? How was?
I tried like a feudal Japanese BR game that was called like Lost Islands.
Okay.
That was so early, but their graphics were impressive, so you could tell there's a little muscle behind them, like money wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's another BR, but feudal Japan this time.
Sure.
If they work on their melee combat, it could be awesome.
Yeah.
That's about it.
This question came up a lot. A lot of people were in the questions that I perused before the show. A lot of people were wanting our thoughts on the Borderlands 3 stuff. Were you there at the Borderlands 3 announcement on Thursday, or were you not at PAX?
I wasn't there. No, I was sick that day.
Okay.
Like a stomach bug.
You should watch the announcement thing that happened because
I heard a lot of people cheered when it wasn't a BR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also cheered because Randy stopped doing fucking magic at that point, and they actually showed something. So it was it's pretty fucking bad. It was an hour and 10 minutes of. It's a weird thing when someone gets some drama brought up about them when it comes to whatever Randy's had accused of or been accused of in the past, and then they show up on like on a stage like that like a month later. Like,
Right.
I really wonder if the publishers like 2K or anyone on the team was just like, Randy, maybe you just don't go out there and just let someone else do that stuff with some of these recent allegations about
Right.
maybe that's not the best look,
Oh, yeah, it would probably be smart to have a proxy person go out, yeah.
Yeah, but instead we got Randy doing magic for us for about 30 minutes, and then Yeah, the whole thing was real rough. It was really rough. It was really rough.
Oh, no, I don't think I want to watch it now.
No, it's I restreamed it for
Can we watch it together or not?
No, it's like an hour and a half. It's very long.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
I guess if it was on Twitch, I'd watch it just to see what chat said.
Yeah, it was on Twitch. It was. Yeah. I talked about this a little bit during Quarter Swords yesterday, but it was the type of thing where if that would have happened at like an E3 or something, it would have been the biggest thing to happen at the show because of how bad it was.
Okay.
Just real awkward. And the entire time, the thing that sucks the most about it is the entire time when they would show videos of whatever it is they're announcing, like Risk of Rain 2 got announced there, that it was out on Steam, and some other announcements like the card game stuff that Borderlands is doing, and then of course Borderlands 3 and Borderlands Remastered stuff. All of the videos that they showed ran at like 2 FPS or like 4 FPS, right? So it was really, really not fluid at all. And the entire time that they were leading up to kind of the big announcement at the end, Borderlands 3, I kept thinking like, are they going to fix this stuff, or are they just going to keep going? Like this needs to be addressed because it has to suck to be a developer and like working on this stuff for months and months and months. And then your big moment is like a framey 4K video. Yeah. And so they get to the final thing and they're like, all right, here it is, Borderlands 3. And they start the video and it's framey as shit. The entire thing is just, they go through the entire trailer for like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, however long it was. And it's like 4 FPS. Oh. And so the video ends and the crowd's like, yeah, woo, Borderlands 3, cool, yeah. And you see Randy kind of looking off stage a little bit and like, are we good? You want to roll it again? Like, yeah, they think they got it fixed. Let's go ahead and check that trailer out again. Let's roll it again. So they roll it again, fade to black, video starts, plays for about 5 seconds, still framey. They go back to stage and Randy's like, let's bring out developers and let's talk about what we just saw and talk about some of that stuff. So they go like down the line and ask these developers, and then PAX is like, all right, we got it working. We got it going. We're good. So they're like, all right, we're going to try one more time. Start the video about 5 or 10 seconds in. It's not running. It's still low FPS. No. They like cut over whoever is running the stream, the PAX people, whoever running the stream there, decides to cut over to the trailer, and it's like a full screen image of a desktop capture with Windows Media Player as their video player. And so then the crowd starts chanting, VLC, VLC,
yeah,
VLC.
Why would you use VLC?
And I'm just like, I'm having a panic attack right now watching this shit happen in front of me on stream. And so then it like cuts back to Randy, and Randy starts filling, and he's like, yeah, I guess we should have brought our own equipment, huh? And really done this ourselves. Because, I mean, and I'm like, are you really calling out PAX on stage still? Like, wait till you're off stage to shit on the company that's messing up. Like, you can't do that.
It is better to close your mouth and be thought a fool and open it and remove all doubt.
Yeah. And so then the crowd just is like, whoa. And you hear like a couple like, that's savage. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then all of a sudden, Randy's like, hey, you guys, all right, they said they got to work, and we're going to watch one more time. They start the trailer, and it works well. And then at the end of that, the trailer ends, and Randy's like, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. We'll talk about the game soon. And then it's over. And I have no idea what is new because the footage they showed just looks like Borderlands. Like there's it looks like more Borderlands. So I have absolutely no idea what's
So it's going to be a 76?
No, it's not going to be a 76, I don't think. It's going to be just a Borderlands 2. Like it's going to be more Borderlands.
I want to watch it now, but now chat's saying Twitch deleted the VODs.
Oh, really? Well, this is a shitty plug, but if you want to watch my VOD of it, it's still up.
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
I think I may after this.
Yeah, you just have to deal with my shitty commentary. And it's probably on, someone probably ripped it and put it up on YouTube as well. But yeah, that whole fucking thing was, Coase as well. You can watch Coase for free now that I think about it. A bunch of different streamers restreamed it, so you can definitely go check it out. Yeah, that man, that was a thing. That was a real weird moment to watch all that go down. I'm not kidding you. It was like a 20-minute magic trick. He took 20 minutes of this presentation and did a fucking magic trick.
No.
It was weird.
There was no one. Was it like a George Lucas like prequel? So no one was there to just be like, no.
No,
They're gonna play.
That's weird.
Oh,
It was so weird. It's such a weird thing. Such a fucking weird thing. And then today, the stuff that people wanted to ask us questions about, it comes out that it's going to be a 6-month Epic Game Store exclusive. Borderlands 3 will. That was like the big news that hit today, and also the release date of September 13th. And so we talked a little bit about like Epic Game Store exclusive when we had Weed on.
Oh yeah,
like 2 weeks ago, or I guess that was last week. Actually, now that I think about it, but
I've made my fair share of tweets about it.
yeah, what is the general consensus for the two of you for this whole like Epic trying to gain market or trying to gain ground in the current market by just buying exclusivity?
I think they're rubbing everyone the wrong way. It's just really abrasive, and I just think that their platform should be a platform before they usher people into it with exclusives. That's pretty much my take on it. If it was robust, I would be like, great, fantastic, compete with Steam, awesome, get your exclusives. I don't care as long as it has features, but it has nothing, and has so many security breaches.
Yeah,
I can't even hide a game in my library if I want right click it.
Yeah,
I think it's a case of, or it seems like a case of, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing.
yeah. The other thing too is the business aspect of it, right? Like, I think it's pretty clear that Gearbox is in a bad place right now after Battleborn flopped as hard as it did. So they're probably trying to figure out a way to make as much money as possible from Borderlands 3. And if the cuts are better over at the Epic Game Store, which they are when compared to Steam, I understand why they did that from a business decision. Or I understand why 2K did that, really, the publisher did that from a business decision. But I wonder how much the analysis was of how many consumers are we going to piss off by going over to the Epic Game Store, and will that outweigh the amount of money that we're going to make because the split is greater over at the Epic Game Store? Like, that was probably the whole cost analysis thing of this whole debacle, and I don't know the answer to that, and they will never share that answer, I'm sure. But yeah,
Well, I'm an old man. And I remember back in the day, I can't remember what artist it was, but it was back in the days of compact disc music. And I remember, I think it was a Rolling Stones album, if I'm not mistaken, like their newest album. People were fucking livid that you could only buy it at Walmart.
sure.
Like, I remember that shit, and that was a long fucking time ago, and that's like speaks to how exclusivity like affects consumers.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I'm seeing it right now. A bunch of people in chat are just saying, yeah, I'm going to pirate it. And then when it comes out on Steam, I'll buy it there, probably. So I just wonder. And the other thing, too, is a lot of these people are vocal minority. I'm sure the game's people are just going to go to the Epic Game Store and buy it there.
Yeah, the game's way too hype. Like, people really love Borderlands.
Yeah, most people just don't give a fuck.
It's just really annoying, and it makes me annoyed at Epic. That's all. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I didn't actually think it was all that bad, and you can actually go back and watch last week's VOD when I talked about it. Like, I didn't think it. I think people sometimes just freak the fuck out about the Epic Game Store and this whole exclusivity thing. But I read a comment about it yesterday that kind of made me change my mind about it a little bit, and it was this idea that like Epic is not offering. It's basically what you said, Mike. Epic is not offering enough on their platform to make it worthwhile for a consumer to go over there. What they're doing is basically buying themselves into this fight by buying exclusivity because of Fortnite making so much fucking money.
Does it cost the consumer more?
No.
I'm totally okay.
No.
That's when that's like what I want to know as the bottom line. Like, sure, we have to install another game platform.
Right.
That just makes like an even dozen with the 11 that I already have.
Right, but
It doesn't cost the consumer anymore. So
correct.
It depends on the country.
should we be upset about that, or
I don't think there's any reason to be upset about that. I think what people can be upset about, rightfully so, is the fact that like the Epic Game Store is built by like paper fucking walls right now. Like it has very little functionality. And
did they finally put email verification in? Because
I don't know.
A long time. There are a lot of people who have Epic accounts through their emails that they didn't make.
Yeah, it is very bare bones, and I think that's where a lot of people might have like a point. Is this idea that like, yeah, Steam has been built for 10 years. Like they have a ton of different things on there that just make it a better platform in comparison to the Epic Game Store. And this idea that like Epic is buying their way into this conversation with exclusivity because they have so much fucking money from Fortnite, but their actual platform's not that strong. And so is that going to complicate this idea of like, how easy is it going to be to play with people? Are we going to run into issues of like, my account being hacked? The whole idea of a refund. I don't think you can do refunds at all on there. If you don't like the game, Steam has that type of stuff. And there's a million other functionalities. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have like a satisfactory.
That's a big negative.
Yeah, saying yes, you can. So I guess you can refund.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Satisfactory weekend test, right?
Yeah.
And then I have the early access. And it's like people kept accidentally installing the weekend test, which is the old test, because you can't right-click hide that in your library. There's no functionality for that. It just has to sit there. So you have like no way to get rid of like just junk like that. And I know people always keep like bringing up like stuff that they heard other people say that they think sounds good. Like it's really good for like what was it, competition, like healthy for the consumer or whatever. But it's not really, is it? Like, the game is like that. What would be healthy is if it was on Steam and the Epic Store, and I decided based on like them tantalizing me to go one way or another. But like being exclusive isn't like good for consumers. How is that?
Yeah. Well, and this idea that like competition, like Epic is not making it a competition because they're just saying, hey, we're going to give you a shit ton of money to come on our platform, but we're not going to give consumers any reason.
We're still doing phrasing?
What? Oh, yeah.
Come on our platform.
Yeah, well, I forgot who I was dealing with here.
I'm a child. I'm a child.
I forgot who I was dealing with there. Sorry.
No shame in my game.
We're giving them a lot of money to move your game over to our platform exclusively.
Right.
There we go. Much better worded. Yeah,
that money goes to the publisher most of the time.
Right, and there's not like there's no competition there. It's just, hey, here's a fuck ton of money. Welcome to the Epic Game Store.
Yeah. People have this image in their mind where like the devs are like throwing money up in the air. They're like, we're going to make all the best games in the world. We got all this Epic Store money. Woo. But it's like going to suits. It's going to suits.
Right.
Like maybe the publisher will be able to publish more games. I guess that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to more yachts, honestly, if you ask me honestly.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where that money like trickles down to the actual
you don't know.
You will never know.
It's not going into
Right.
So tell me if this is a fair analogy.
Sure.
Say like your favorite whiskey company comes out with a brand new whiskey and you're really excited to buy it, but the only place you can drink it is in that shitty, shady bar across the tracks. So you have to go there to get it. It doesn't cost you anymore, but you have to go there to get it. But it's a shitty place to go. It's a shitty place to be.
Yeah. You might get like
somewhat
you might
comparable.
Get shaken down for your $5 while you're there.
If it's like sometimes difficult to meet with friends there because it's it's out of the way and that type of stuff, like that's somewhat similar.
Throwing a chance that like 10% chance your car will break down on the way over there.
Yeah. I mean, you can add some more stuff in there, some more modifiers, and it might be true. Yeah. It's a weird thing for sure. And the other side of that coin is like the outrage that people have for this it's great. Like Epic's doing a hell of a job of making people hate them, and Steam is just kind of like doing nothing and getting a lot of praise. Like they're not doing a damn thing, and they're like, God, Steam's fucking. Let's get over it. Let's just get all this shit. Oh yeah, it's so good, Steam. Oh. So good. Just not stop. And Epic's like, hey, let's get another exclusive game over here.
Yeah. I'm trying to like understand too. Like, do they have like, is there like some marketing people or someone and they have charts and they're like, don't worry, no matter how much you piss off people, no bad publicity is still good publicity. Like, I don't know what is in their ear telling them that this is good.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Does it prove that no matter how much people hate you, you'll still like do fine anyway? So who cares? I don't what.
It's honestly probably this case like the general group of people that are upset is, quantifiable, and this is just a random number I'm throwing out, but let's say 20, 30,000 people. Borderlands 3 is probably going to sell, it's safe to say, millions of copies. So in the grand scheme of things, like it's a very small percentage of sales. That most of those people that are complaining are the diehard fans that are going to buy it anyways because the game's going to come out and they don't want to wait 6 months. And so I would think that the powers that be are just like, we'll piss off some people, and they'll be upset about that, and then we'll just move forward, and then we'll make more money on this platform, and it'll be exclusive for 6 months, so then people will ever forget this conversation happened in the first place. And we'll just move on. Who knows, though, because, the game's got to come out. We got to have to see how the game is, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing that I think we're going to see more of. Like, this is not the last thing. The last one this is going to happen to. Sorry.
Well, forget that Epic has tons of Fortnite money. You think it's good for, like breaking up, like, Steam's... They don't have a monopoly, but you know what I mean. Like, consumerism.
The standard. They're the
standard.
standard.
It eventually trickles down to be something good.
I mean, I can see a world where if Epic gets their shit together and starts putting all these meaningful updates and improvements to their platform, that
if they get their roadmap done, yeah, it's still going to be people kicking and screaming the entire time.
Sure.
And people are saying they don't have a monopoly. Like there's Uplay, there's GOG, there's tons of other platforms.
Yeah, I think
buy and play games.
I think the argument
I've started buying games on Uplay instead. Like when they're a Ubisoft game, I'll just buy it on Uplay. Not even deal with Steam.
Yeah, I think the argument is that the market share belongs to Steam for a lot of that stuff. Sure, there's other options, but Steam is the market leader by a large
but
portion.
a monopoly means there are no other options. Is what I just like. Technically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another game, Anno 1800, Epic Game Store. And that one's even weirder because you can pre-order Anno 1800 on Steam up until the day that it comes out, and then it's gone from the Steam platform in terms of buying it, but you can still play it and launch it from there, is my understanding. So that's a weird one. Most people will probably just buy that through the Uplay store.
Can you still launch it through Uplay? I mean, can you buy it on Uplay?
Yeah. I think you buy it on Epic Game Store and Uplay, I think, is what I understood. So, yeah, it's a weird. The whole thing's just weird. This is just a weird, odd thing that Epic keeps creating, and the more it happens, the more everyone else is going to look better because of it in a lot of these people's eyes. So, I just hope that eventually Epic gets their store together and they start putting these meaningful updates in so that the sense of outrage is unwarranted less and less. But
yeah, I see what they're trying to do. I just wish that they had done it with a more majestic leap instead. They're all gangly fucking.
Well, instead they just put their fucking they unzip their pants and Fortnite flopped out onto the table. And then they're cutting off little sections of Fortnite and saying all right, here's $100 million, and we'll go ahead and give it to that. And then here's another $100 million, and we'll give it to that company. Oh, here's another 100. Oh shit, we made $1 billion last week. All right, let's do $1 billion over to that company.
Oh man, we still got half a shaft left, dude.
We're still golden. Who else can we buy? What else is coming out? Yeah.
The most contentious one was Phoenix Point.
Yeah,
definitely.
That one was weird too.
They paid them enough that if everyone canceled their Kickstarter or whatever SIG donation, they would still be profitable. Yeah. Which is redundant.
To expand on that for people that aren't aware, Phoenix Point was a game that was kickstarted, and it was, I think the keys were going to be for Steam and all this stuff. And Mike, you might have to help me here because I'm a little loose on the story details, but now it's become an Epic Game Store exclusive.
Yeah, it's an Epic 6, for a year. And that was just the big promise that they'd be on other platforms like Steam. It was the basis for people funding it on SIG.
Yeah.
And so they're just kind of sorry, if you don't like it, you can refund, because Epic gave them enough that if everyone refunded, they'd be fine.
Yeah.
They'd still be in the green.
that was kind of a bad PR move there, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't really have interest in playing the game right now, but I could totally see.
But I still blame Epic.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see if
the devil for people selling their souls. I blame the person who's offering them the stuff.
Sure, I could see if I was someone that kickstarted that game and I was expecting a Steam key and then was told, "Hey, sorry, go fuck yourself. Like you got to use this." I would be a little bit upset. I can see that argument without a doubt. Jesus, we blatted on for like 20 minutes on that.
Sorry.
We should take some. I mean, that's my fault too. A lot of people want to hear us about that. Zeke, I think you've been perusing this thing. Do you have any questions you want to pull from, rather than me scanning through it? Okay, let's do it.
I've been so careful because I have I've tried to request editorship. I don't have. I'm
my bad.
View only.
Gotcha.
So 3 times I control clicked each line individually.
Here you have it.
And I accidentally clicked on it again and just erased all my things because I don't have editor. So
there you go. You have editorship. Sorry about that.
Well, it's too late now. I fucking screenshotted it. We're good.
It doesn't matter now. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let's see here. Question. Whoops. Let's see. What? Start with just a general question. What do you guys? This is from Diridium. What do you guys hate / love the most about streaming? And if you can just like one sentence it.
I'll one word it.
Okay.
Streaming is the answer to both of those. That's what I hate about it, and that's what I love about it. In the most general sense. That's my answer.
I'm gonna go with chat on that one.
You're gonna go with chat as yours for both both of them?
Because they can be amazing.
That's a good
to
call.
experience the game with, or they can just completely dismantle an experience for you.
Yeah.
By accident.
That would be all encompassing in my answer of streaming for both of them. Yeah. Yeah. And what's your answer, Zeke? Before I expand it all.
Best or part I love the most, chat. Thing I hate the most, technical difficulties. I feel so helpless.
Yeah.
I feel so fucking helpless when I can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Or if it's ISP. That's the worst. That's actually the worst because there's absolutely nothing I can do about that.
I agree. I think that there's also some like the idea of burnout or the idea of being sick and like taking a day off is detrimental to, your job as a streamer. And that's an interesting conundrum that a streamer can't really solve is like, hey, I really don't want to play a single fucking thing today. Well, I guess you're going to have a bad day then because you're not working. All right, well, let's go feel bad about myself and not work and be bored. Okay. Like that's just it's not something that's solvable. It's just like a unforeseen consequence of whatever this business is. But yeah.
I'll tell you that IRL shit like really took a load off.
Being able to like, you're saying while you're in Tokyo. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Adam and I both, like it was a nice sigh of relief that we could like stream for a few hours every day, keep like appearances up, whether it was 2 hours, 6 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, plenty, just to keep the channel going a little bit every day.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a bad idea. And then we circle back to chat where they're like, spoiler, that's literally every job. It's like, no, you're not entertaining people at your job. You're working in you're working your job. I don't want to be reductive and dismissive of your job, but yeah, you're not.
Or as they say in Tokyo,
it's just different.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get into a fight with chat already on the first question. Let's move on.
Yes, but Zeke is entertaining people anyway, so
yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
Hi-ho.
Let's see. What is your biggest? This is from Doom. What is your biggest, I would add, remove, change feature for Twitch?
Add, remove, change feature.
Or Twitch / streaming, he said, but I think Twitch is the bigger question. If you could remove something from Twitch. Well, actually add. And someone said VOD search. Fuck yeah, VOD and clip search. fix that shit. Jesus Christ, make it easy to find something.
Yeah, from a viewer.
If I put
perspective, for
Ezekiel the Third and a game name, I should have like highlight past broadcast clips immediately.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, that's the type of question where it's not hard to think of things, but it's hard to think of one thing that should be added to the platform. And so I'm trying to think of that one thing from a streamer perspective that would make a big difference in failing to do so. Bike, you got any answers?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's like that's what I said is more of a QOL, quality of life thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's definitely something that's been on my mind forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would change smaller communities on the front page to smaller streamers because shut up. That's why.
Hashtag support small streams.
Yeah. Hashtag support small streamers for sure.
No, change it to viewer challenged.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I want to think about that for a bit and give.
We'll circle back around.
Answer. Let's circle back around. I'll think about it. Rather than me just
let's see. This is mostly it feels weird answering this without Co here, but I thought it was an interesting question. What do you think? Because I know mine. What do you think is the most impactful, important episode of Drop Frames we've ever done? And I think it was that episode with Gassy where we talked about the sadness and the negative emotions that come along with streaming. We did a stream about that early on in the history of the show, where we talked. It was exclusively about that.
Yeah,
and I think it was definitely important because I truly believe that shared joy is increased and shared pain is decreased. So the more you talk about it, the more you get it out there, the less scary and daunting it becomes, and the less painful it is.
Yeah, that's definitely up there, I would think. I think another one that's up there is one of the times that we had Rami on when he basically like removed everyone's fucking blinders on from the developer world and said like, hey, here's how all this kind of actually works. And we were just like, oh shit, fucking making games is hard, man. What the fuck? This shit's goddamn impossible. What the fuck?
After the Rami episode, I stopped leaving Steam reviews because I was like, oh man, I can't leave a negative review because I feel like because I know what goes into this shit now.
Yeah, Rami did a really good job of that, and Danny O'Dwyer with NoClip does a really good job of that, of like saying, hey, this shit's fucking hard, and here's a good example. Watch this. And it's like, oh god, this is just a fucking pain in the ass. So that stuff's really good. Bike, what's your answer? What's the most impactful?
Does it have to be one I was on, or just any?
I think the answer is any episode I was on was very impactful. That's what you should say. That's what you should.
No, I'm gonna say any, obviously goes without saying.
Yeah.
Anyone where you guys talk about like any sweeping changes Twitch are doing, I always really enjoy, because a lot of time I feel like the Twitch staff need to like sit there and listen to opinions.
Yeah.
Like, and I know a lot of them. Well, a few of them are savvy and look at like Twitter and like listen. So many of them are just like, oh, the people didn't like that. It's like, well, you didn't look anywhere, like with your eyes or face. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of that, I know you got a question, Zeke, but you've used probably the squad stream more than any other streamer that I know with the late shift people. What's your opinion on squad streaming? And then I just actually got to use it
last night for the first time.
Really?
I know that Burke and Cletus were using it all week. I mean, I'm still on the fence about it.
Yeah.
The way that it handles viewers and stuff.
And what do you mean by handles viewers?
Well, I believe that the person in the primary slot, like the one that you're focused on watching, and you can switch between them, and put, when you're focused on someone else, they're in the primary slot. That's how the view is divvied up.
I'm so glad you brought this up,
because see it in action more before I choose.
This is the question I had, because I'm trying to find like data to bring this forward. But and I spent a while talking to my streamer about this. My understanding of squad streaming is what you just said. Whoever the first person is, the leader, the creator of the squad stream, is the person that will more than likely get the view, right?
Yep.
So for the most part, you can either game it to where the person that's the leader is the person that you guys want to get the most views, and then that's kind of swapped amongst the 4 people the more that you stream with them. Or there's zero reason to squad stream at all because you're literally just pushing your competition ahead of you. If you really want to like be reductive about it and boil down to what it means at the core. Perfect example, and I'll use names in this one. I did not in the other day. I was watching Ninja, Tim the Tap Man, Basically I Do Work, and Courage play Uno the other day. All very big streamers, have very large audiences. Tim the Tap Man was the leader of the squad stream. And at one point during the stream, Ninja goes, "Holy shit, Tim, why the fuck do you have 60,000 viewers?" And it was one of those things where you're kind of like, well, why the fuck? Like, that's a really weird thing to say, Ninja. But then I started thinking about it. It's like, no, why does Tim have 60,000 viewers and Ninja's at 20,000? And it was because he was hosting the squad stream.
Yeah.
I don't know why Tim has any viewers at all, to be honest with you.
It's true, but that's beyond the point. That's beyond the point.
Sorry, the roast was at TwitchCon. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so then they actually gave Courage, I think, leadership of the squad. And he went from 7K to 13K in about 5 or 6 minutes. So then I started to think like, well, why the fuck would any group of streamers use this unless there's a clear reason or a clear benefit to all 4 of them rather than just like the top person, like the leader? Because it is a clear way to inflate viewership for that singular person above the other 3 people streaming. And I think it's kind of a bad product in doing so.
Yeah. It's
really
situation. It's incredibly situational, like depending on the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
Right? Like where people are going to want to have to want to go see those other perspectives of what's going on.
Yeah.
Instead of staying on like the host.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I've me and Strippin and who are we playing with? Lawman were playing the other day, playing Risk of Rain the other day, and Strippin was hosting the stream, or hosting the squad stream. Sorry, and I think we went into it, and this is all very like numbers based, and a lot of viewers don't care for it. It has no impact on viewers. It's purely streamer talk. But I went into it with like 2,800 viewers, I think. And by the end of that, Strippin, who had just started his stream, who doesn't normally average this amount of audience, had like 3,500 viewers. And I was all the way down to like 2K. And granted, like, sure, viewership will change when you change games and all that stuff. But like, that's a pretty large distance between that. And so after that, the next day, I was like, hey, Strippin, let me try hosting this. And it was the complete opposite the next day. I shot up to like 3,400, 3,500. Strippin never really broke like 2K. So again, like at that point,
leaving seems risky too.
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
because your viewers stay there,
right,
in the squad stream, and you have to be like, I'm leaving the squad stream. Make sure that you refresh the page and come back to my channel because you
right. It's really weird. It's really weird. Yeah.
I mean, there are things that have been around for years, like Khadgar and multi-Twitch and shit like that. Like, why don't they do it like that?
My understanding,
they count as views for all the channels.
And this is me putting on what I would think would be the Twitch hat here. And my understanding as to why they would do this. I'm playing devil's advocate. If you're watching a stream through like multi-stream or Khadgars or whatever, it's loading 4 instances of those streams up as 4 unique streams, which is then like built into whatever the platform is that you're watching on. So those 4 instances count as 4 streams. And so for Twitch, that's
inflated numbers.
It's inflated numbers. And so for Twitch, when they're looking at
sense.
like analytics and like the actual size of a stream, they want to have like the purest form of analytics for, sponsorship purposes or reaching out to those people for opportunities within Twitch and that type of stuff. So that's the only thing.
Well, I mean, there are ways around that though. Just go to the decimal place then.
Sure.
It's fucking hard about that.
Yeah.
Just go like 0.25. Everybody that's on the multi-Twitch or whatever, give them a 0.25 viewership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like that seems like a fair way to do it.
I would agree.
I don't know.
It's a really weird thing. I think that they'll definitely, hopefully revisit that. And it's not one of those platforms. It's like one and done. But we will see.
No, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It's just,
totally.
it needs tweaking.
Viewership aside from or all the issues we just talked about aside from a viewer perspective, I think the squad streaming stuff is fucking awesome, especially on mobile. If you've ever watched a squad stream on mobile, it's fucking awesome. It's incredible. You can sit there and like pinch one of the streams down, so then there's 4. Then you walk. Oh, I want to watch this. You just go over there and make that, and it comes full screen. It's incredible. And I think it's a really good product for that purpose. But from a streamer side of things, like if someone wants a squad stream, yeah, I'll do that if you let me host it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want me to host
Yeah,
it? You
no
want to
shit.
host it? Let's use like multi-stream or something like that.
Dude, I'm like man versus game, and I like that's why we like go back and forth between whose stream we're on.
Right.
It's business, man. It's a business. You gotta treat it like a business and not like
Yeah.
a friendship when it comes to stuff like that. You gotta go to one channel and then the other channel if
get
if it's possible.
I get it.
You said mobile, and I just want to throw this jab in there real quick. Can we make the fucking mobile app work more like the desktop app, please?
In what
'Cause
sense?
that fucking Twitch mobile app is like as a streamer,
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's not good. It's a
it's
little annoying.
it's fucking not user friendly.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I don't like the you get a lot of ads on mobile. Maybe it's just because I am subscribed. I don't know the reason, but I think most of the people that I'm watching on mobile I'm subscribed to, but maybe I'm not logged in or something. But any stream I go to, even if I had just left a stream because an ad was running, I open up another stream. It's like, oh, here's another ad, 30-second ad.
That's everyone's big complaint nowadays, though. The ads are getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's getting really out of hand.
The forced ads.
Yeah.
I went back to Twitch Turbo.
Yeah, I've honestly been thinking about it as well.
I saw tweets of people like tweeting out like, "Hey Twitch, there's 4 people I sub to. 2 of them I'm gonna drop because I'm gonna get Twitch Turbo because you fucking took away the opportunity for me not to get ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll let you pick who I drop. Thanks.
That was Red Eye Monster. I remember that.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
there you go. Yep.
And the other thing too is when you run ads, at least when I run ads, and we'll take a break, and so I run ads during those break on like role play and drop frame stuff like that. The ad inventory is not varied enough, so it's like, oh, here's 9 ads back to back for Sekiro. 9 times,
Yeah.
9 times in a row, the same fucking ad.
I think they were advertising that anti-abortion movie, and people had a big problem with that.
Jesus Christ.
It was just like, let's keep the political
Yeah, it's
movie
fucking-
ads out.
Yeah, and then of course, I mean, you have the Amazon, anything Amazon related, new show wise, like Hannah's been nonstop, I'm sure, for ads. But the Jack Ryan thing became a fucking meme, where it just is, I'm an analyst over and over, just nonstop that fucking ad, just non.
And don't even get fucking started on other streamers' ads on your
Right.
fucking channel.
Right. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Hopefully that's done with. I saw that there was one for. It was a Red Bull ad that was promoting Ninja, but it
Yeah,
didn't
everyone
link.
was looking at me.
Yeah.
So when that happened, everyone was like, and because I made a big fuss about the other 2, and I was
Right.
like, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, as long as they're
I
not
love you
linking the
fussing.
stream.
Yeah, they skirted around the issues.
Yeah.
They don't promote. It's not promoting Ninja at all.
Yeah, as long as it's not
promoting
linking
Red Bull.
directly to a stream, like that's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
I do agree that more people coming to the platform is good. So he's bringing people to the platform. Just don't put his link on my channel. That's like one of the basic tenets of like Twitch
Yeah.
culture.
yeah. And Doctor Disrespect is in that Call of Duty ad, which is honestly funny.
Yeah.
so it's not saying go visit
Fine with that.
drdisrespect.com. Yeah. Zeke, it's 3:00, but we don't have Far Verona, so if you want to keep asking questions, it's up to you. But we are done.
Yeah,
with the show.
I could ask a couple more.
Okay, cool.
You got to go anywhere, Bike, for the next 10 minutes?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I just asked the drop frames question. I like this question. What personality trait that's true of the other members of drop frames do you wish you had? And we can just do it right here with us 3. We don't have to include Co because he's not here. He had a stupid baby.
Yeah, it's fucking. Who has
The baby's
kids?
not stupid. It's just stupid that he had one.
Yeah, it's a stupid decision. Don't have kids. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you doing? I think I'd take from, well, I guess Zeke also has this as well. I'll take it from both of you. The ability to just play a game at face value and enjoy it for at least like an hour or so. Because I will look at a game and see a screenshot and be like, nah, dude, I'm not touching that shit. You guys will see a screenshot and be like, oh, let's check it out. Let's jump into it and play it. And I won't go that far. So that's what I wish I could take from the 2 of you. That's my answer.
I think actually both you and JP and Bike have this quality that I wish I had more of. The ability to talk, I wouldn't say talk shit, but definitely like talk pointedly about negative aspects of things and back it up really well so it's nigh infallible. When I'm mad about something, I have to stop myself because I'm like, fuck, I know there's a backup for this. I'm so unconfident. Unconfident? Is that a word? Fuck it. About it.
I don't know if we're infallible, but we'll definitely speak our minds on shit.
I can go overboard. I can be bitchy.
Here's the important thing, and I think Bike will attest to this. If we are overcritical on something, or if I'm overcritical on something, and someone points out reasons why I'm wrong, I will read those. And if I truly believe, or if I truly am wrong, oh no, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's important. It's really important not to like be stubborn and like, be like, yeah, I'm wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
Because if you can't do that, then you're just like, why people are going to suffer you ever?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's super important for sure.
I would definitely take JP. I would take your organizational skills, and just like being like, I'm just so like scattered and like not,
sure,
organized whatsoever. I would definitely take like you have like a really good business acumen and like scheduling, and you got a lot of stuff going on with the D&D games and whatnot. Well, I'm sure it's chaotic, but you're way better than I could. And Zeke, I would definitely take your tolerance of games. Like sometimes like arcadey games or anything like that. Like I just dismiss them because I like something like, I have specific criteria that interest me in a game, and you definitely like enjoy a lot more stuff than I do, and I wish I could enjoy a lot more stuff.
That's all. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Good question. Who asked that?
Oh, sorry, that was from Macaluso, Macaluso.
Good question. Thank you, Macaluso.
Mm-hmm. You guys kind of touched on the Anthem thing. Do you guys want to? Is that a longer topic?
Yeah,
There's like 20 questions about it.
There's a lot of questions about it.
Yeah,
and it boils down to the fact that I saw this article this morning and I have not had a chance to read it. So I don't want to speak about it and just have chat tell me how wrong I am about it.
Yeah, I don't know shit about it.
I plan to read it, but I haven't read it.
Yeah, same here. But I understand the gist of it is that like there's a reason why BioWare had another bad game in it because of a lot of issues within BioWare, and also apparently the what's the engine that Battlefield uses? I'm drawing a blank.
Wait, what was it?
What's the engine?
I was looking at chat. Oh, the Anthem uses
Frostbite. Yeah, apparently the Frostbite engine is like absolute dog shit to work with as a developer.
Yeah, it's pretty
fucking awful. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I find it suspect that the link is to a Kotaku article, so I'm just like,
it's Jason Schreier or whatever.
He's the one. I always hear his name whenever everyone's like, Kotaku shit, except for Jason Schreier.
Yeah, he's the Bastion over there.
He's the only good one.
Yeah, Jason Schreier seems pretty on top of his shit. Seems very well written. Yeah. But I have not read the article, so I don't want to talk about it critically.
This is actually a good question. I like this one. What is the motivation behind most, if not all, the games? Oh, this is from Carlin, aka C60 Jam.
Okay.
What is the motivation behind most, if not all, the games that you or your guests stream? Is it 50-50 what I want to play and what will be good for the viewers to watch? Or does the notion of maybe they'll like it, if not, tune in next time factor in? Or does it just depend every time?
I think that varies from streamer to streamer, but there's definitely a sense of like, will this garner viewership and will I like it? If those two things are not in the equation, then the fuck are you doing? Like,
but there have been times where a game you were so excited about, you played it no matter what, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah. Sekiro was definitely one of them. Like there was the first 3 days of that game, I never broke 1,000 viewers, which is like,
oh yeah, but I played it
very below the average of the channel, and I just kept playing it.
That was addictive. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 as well was probably like didn't necessarily do the greatest for viewership, but I enjoyed the game enough that it doesn't matter. But so there's definitely like that scale is always tipping one way or the other for sure. But yeah,
I'm certainly glad I'm playing it tomorrow. Then I look forward to having shit numbers. Great.
I think it's past enough to where it should be good again.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, to answer that question for myself, there's only been a couple of times where a game that I was so excited for that I couldn't wait, and I streamed it, and then I learned if you can't wait and it's bad for the channel, just play it on your own time. And I did that, and I was very, very happy I did that for Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War.
I'm starting to do
because
that.
not only was I excited about it, but I knew it would be shit on my channel like right away.
Right. And I think that's a hard thing to fake as a streamer, is this idea of like playing a game that you're super into, but every time you look over at the other monitor and you see that number low, you're just like, fucking son of a bitch. Like, God damn it. This is ruining the goddamn game for me. Like, I think that's just a streamer truism that exists.
But there's the opposite that's also true. Like, I've hate fucked a game for numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, done a few streams in a row of a game that I really was not enjoying all that much. If I actually hate a game, I won't play it. But I'll stretch a game out that I'm not super enjoying because it does well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's a super common thing.
I just won't.
Yeah, I mean, some people do.
I don't have it in me.
Don't.
I don't have it in me to do that. If I'm not enjoying something, I can't do it. I won't stream.
I would say the majority of people would.
Yeah.
But there are definitely cases, depending on streamer and game and all that stuff, where you won't.
Yeah.
Which,
I would say the biggest thing that figures in for me is I like to play stuff that's either obscure, that's interesting, that I dug up out of nowhere, or at least like early. And if it figures heavily for me, whether I'll stream a game if it's already been streamed everywhere. I'll be like, everyone's already seen that on every other channel, so yeah. There's going to be no... The high for me is new game, chat seeing it for the first time, I'm seeing it for the first time, also interesting content for me because I looked into what the game mechanics would be and just did that perfect storm. Yeah. I love that. And it's not necessarily viewer numbers. I think the viewer numbers are high because it's so enjoyable when that happens. I'll get like maybe like 3,000. Usually I'm like 1,200 if I'm playing something normal. But like if it's something new and interesting and I'm enjoying it and chat's enjoying it, 3,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely makes sense.
I love those random ones in the dark. Like that I don't know, but like This Is the Police was a good one for me that recent memory where I was loving the game and I wasn't looking, and then I looked at the numbers and went, holy shit.
Yeah.
This game should not be doing that good. No one else is playing it. It's kind of a slow pace, but like I'm having the time of my life playing it and people are watching that. But I've also had times where I'm like, fucking yeah, this game's up. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, I've experienced both for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
That Skyrim VR was one of the ones where it was like, what the fuck? Why are people fucking? I can't even see you half the time because the goddamn thing breaks. I don't even know what's going on in chat.
Dude, it was entertaining as fuck without sound to watch you walk like with your back to the fucking camera, just like walk around with your just like walking around.
I only ran into the wall once as well. I was very proud of that. And about 10 hours of streaming it, I only ran into the wall once. So that it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
And because I gotta get ready for the next thing. Yeah. How do you deal with being burnt out? I've noticed you tweet, I don't know who they're talking about. This is from Dagomani, Eagomani.
Okay.
How do you deal with being burnt out? I noticed you tweet about being burnt out from time to time. Also relevant to hear how other streamers deal with it. I imagine being self-employed and burnt out can be a huge problem. Also, thanks for the countless hours of entertainment. Lesson 3. Oh.
Yeah, I kind of touched on this when we started the questions. I don't know if I've found a way to deal with that. I don't stream. That's how I deal with that. But then it's like a bad cycle where it's like, oh, well, you're not streaming. Oh, fuck, you're not streaming. Like you should probably figure something out to stream. And then you get yourself hyped up about a game that you're going to stream it. oh fuck, this isn't. Why am I doing? It's not good viewership. Why the fuck am I doing this? I'm still burnt out. Still not curing that whole thing. And now I'm streaming, and this is okay. I'll see you guys later. It's a 2-hour stream. They're just like fuck. So,
I'm of the mind I'd rather have no show than a bad show, and that's how I view it. I view it as a show.
yeah,
Because if I have a bad show, it causes resentment towards the audience, the chat, and also it creates self-loathing, which is no good.
yeah.
So I will be bummed out that I took a day off, but it's better in the long run. I've noticed over experience over the 7-8 years that I've been streaming that it's better to take the day off rather than like be a fucking pissy bitch baby to your chat and to yourself.
Yeah. I think most streamers experience burnout, but most of them just play through it. And it's exactly what you just said. Like, if you ever notice a streamer is like a little bit more irritable, a little bit more ragey with chat, or just seems off, it's probably because they're somewhat burnt out. I think like larger examples of this, Summit was very vocal, like when he was going through some bullshit being burnt out, and Lyric as well. I think you've seen both of them do that.
Yep.
I would expect it's going to happen to Fortnite streamers here pretty soon, especially with where Fortnite's at. Like, you're going to see some people start to go down whatever path of being burnt out is. I think that's going to happen for sure. But most streamers just kind of like play through it in that sense. So
if we're talking about strictly burnout though, like I don't see why. Well, I do see why, but what has always been a great interstitial for me is if I'm burnt out playing video games and there's nothing I want to play, I do something completely that's not video game.
right.
Like I'll do like a cooking thing or
That's
something
a good way
like
to
that.
spike
Something
it
that's
up.
completely like it's like spicing up like a sex life in a marriage or something like that. Just like try something wild, try something weird, try something that scares you out of your wheelhouse. And that usually, I mean, it has always helped me. Like, all right, I got the pep back because this is new and different and shit. And then I got more energy to like put towards games.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that work for sure. Bike, any thoughts on Burnout?
I've gotten in like a pretty good groove lately with it. Like usually around like the drought times, I just wouldn't stream at all because there weren't nothing I wanted to stream, And nowadays, I just like go through my Steam list and find something. Like I'll open games and play a little bit of them, and if they're enjoyable, I'll flip the stream on. Also, I'll just take a lot of vacations too lately. Just PAX was good. Went on a cruise. Went on another cruise May 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was going to pose the question to you like last night. I usually think about the show and things that I want to hit on. I was going to pose a question like, hey, is it worth going to PAX at all for a streamer? Like, why the fuck do you go to PAX? And then I was like, wait a minute. He probably went to PAX to get the fuck away from streaming. That seems like a nice thing.
Yeah. I'm to talk to Dev. Love talking to Dev.
Yeah. That's why I didn't ask it, because it's like, it's kind of a pointless question.
Yeah.
What a novel idea, going as a fan.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't even know what that's like anymore. I have no idea.
Dude, that's why I'm going to fucking TwitchCon EU, dude. I got like, I
That's
think I
right.
got one meet and greet thing, and then the rest of the fucking days are mine to do with whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I always do that with TwitchCon. Like I'll schedule like some form of meet and greet and then leave everything else open because I go as a fan and as a viewer and as a
Yeah, I like to do that too.
chatter.
Yeah.
I hate scheduling stuff. I like to be free.
I think
Walking around.
I think that's most streamers, to be honest. I don't think a lot of streamers like schedules, or like scheduling things, I should say, not necessarily schedules. Speaking of, we'll use this as our ending the show moment. Zeke, you're gone next week, right?
I am indeed. Yes, I leave for Berlin on the 10th, so a week from today. Yep, I will. So I will not be on Drop Frames next week.
Now, what are you expecting here from? I mean, TwitchCon. I feel like TwitchCon EU is. Would you say it's a gamble? Like what?
There's definitely the Schadenfreude. Like I want to see it just burn. I want to see it. Like I think Adam even said, like, you mean TwitchCon Fire EU? Like,
Yeah.
like there's part of me that just wants to see it go really poorly because it's the same reason why I enjoy trolls from time to time, where most of the time is because I relish like bad things that are not my fault. Obviously, more of me wants it to go well. Don't get me wrong. I really do want it to go well. I want everybody in EU to have a good time. I don't want them to feel like they missed out on anything like that. But I'd be lying if I said a little part of me doesn't want to see it, like, you know, fall down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's just a Wade and Type C moment. Are you IRL streaming or anything like that while you're there?
No.
Okay. All right.
Nope. I'm there. I'm be here now. For TwitchCons.
Be here. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yep. I'm be where you are. I guess.
Thought you were having a stroke. I was, what the be here now? What the? That's not even proper English.
It's sorry. It's something I tell myself.
Okay.
It's like, don't think about work. Be here now.
No, it's good. It's not a bad way to live. Well, we'll miss you next week. I'll probably do a show. We'll see who we can get on for it. But Zeke, do some shout outs for us in the meantime. We'll wrap the show up.
Love to. What's up, everybody? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Bike Man for being a wonderful guest and so easy to listen to and so informative and just a great guy. I love you, Bike Man.
You're sexy.
Go wherever you are. We miss you. Mostly. Come back, whenever. JP for being a co-host extraordinaire. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III. That is on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Getting close to 10,000 followers on YouTube. If you want to go subscribe there, don't cost you nothing. And it makes my EP that much bigger. So after this, in about 43 minutes from now, I will be on twitch.tv/table story, just like it sounds. For the role-playing show that I've been really enjoying. I really don't think there's anything like it on Twitch right now, or I haven't seen it. It's Nocturne is the name of the thing, and it's Unknown Armies rules, 2nd edition rules, tabletop RPG, set in the present with it's a thriller like supernatural, Stranger Things, eerie, ghostly, creepy shit throughout. And I'm really having fun, so I hope you tune in. Give it a chance because I think you'll like it. And that's happening in about 42 minutes. But if you want to catch me tomorrow at noon Pacific, I start my totally, completely, absolutely blind playthrough of Sekiro. I'm excited.
Go watch.
That's it.
Thanks for being here. We should also note that Saturday, Co's going to be ending his 2,000-day streak of streaming every day. So fucking finally, he won't hold that over me and Zeke anymore on this show. And we don't have to have his viewers tell us that he's been streaming for 2,000 days. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Woo-hoo.
We don't have to have him deal with that shit anymore. Zeke,
Wonder if he'll be more relaxed.
Yeah, probably. I bet you he's just going to come back wearing a Hawaii. He's going to be Gothalion. He's going to wear the Hawaiian shirt and just hanging out on stream every day. Mike, do some shout outs.
How you doing? My name's Bike Man. I stream a bunch of random stuff that looks interesting to me. I have no real schedule. Usually can find me every day at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. I want to thank Zeke and JP for having me on the show. I love coming on the show and talking about video games. And yeah, pretty much covers it.
All right.
Oh, and thanks for putting up with me getting over the PAX pox. This entire episode, I've been like using this microphone mute button and like doing the most horrible noises.
Well, I'm glad you don't have like a full-blown flu like Max got, apparently. So
yeah, I think we got the same thing, but somehow it's more mild on me.
And I think he had the shorter flight home too, right? So I don't know. Maybe he just hung out.
I got it from Japanese children because there was an elementary school near my B&B. Those little walking germ factories.
That's probably accurate. That probably makes a lot of sense. Anyways, that's it for Drop Frames. I'll be back next week with the show, probably. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then Zeke will be back from TwitchCon EU, and I hope we get to hear stories of the disaster. But
we'll
see.
I'll tweet pictures and let you know if there's any time that I like like drop by a booth and they're like, hey, you want to stream? Sure, whatever. I'll let you guys know. Follow my Twitter.
Okay. Check him out on Twitter. Check Bike out on Twitter, and make sure to follow the Drop Frames Twitter as well. We're out of here. We'll see you next week for more Drop Frames. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.